There was a devotee from Denmark, Amata Gi. She became a devotee. Prior to becoming a devotee, she was a model. And she also became Miss Denmark. Just like you have Miss India, Miss Universe. So she was a model. And then she became very popular. And there was a cover page. Vogue is a fashion magazine, very at the international level. There was a cover page of this lady, Vogue magazine, and many other fashion magazines. There is a newspaper we have probably not heard of called Paris Match. Again, related to fashion and all that. And it's circulated in more than 24 countries. There was a 4-page article of this Mataji after she became a devotee. She was in sari, and also there was another page of Vogue magazine, how the cover page is there. And she is doing Sankirtan, dancing in front of the Eiffel Tower in Paris. And the next page, she is making garland, doing Tulsi Arati. This was in 1970s when Hare Krishna had become the Beatles and all that had become very popular. And the title of this thing was Left Everything for Krishna. And this article described how the transition happened, how she was a model, how she was in the fashion industry, how she became a devotee. It was a very positive article. And how she is in the interview saying that my life is completely transformed. This is real enjoyment. I had everything, the glitter of the fashion world, the glamour, everything. But this is real enjoyment. And Prabhupada got this newspaper, Paris Match. Prabhupada was in India, in Bombay. And he kept this newspaper on his table, on his desk, very prominently. And anybody would come to meet him, Prabhupada would show this. She has given everything for Krishna. You should also give up. You should also surrender. In the Gita also, yad yad acharati shestra tat tadeva taro janaha. That's how all these celebrities, this video bites, it makes sense because people are looking forward for what the leaders, what the prominent personalities are saying, what they are doing. That's why they have brand ambassadors. So this is the verse, in today's verse also it is being mentioned that this world is created by the Lord. Everything which is there in this world, there's a purpose. We all are now hearing Bhagavatam, there's a purpose. This temple is built for a purpose. We are staying in the ashram. We are practicing Krishna consciousness for a purpose. This world also is created for a purpose. And that is being mentioned in this verse, to give all living entities detachment from fruitive activities by realizing you. Bahunam janmanam ante jnanvan mam prapadyante vasudevam sarvamiti samahatma durlabha. We all have come here We want to be enjoyers, we want to be center of attraction, we want to be glorified, we want to be famous, we want to enjoy life. But that's not our true position. And Prabhupada explains in the Purport that the Lord is so kind, thorough gentleman. He has given us a free will. Although we are His part and parcels, although we are His sons, but He does not force us. He can. A lot of people ask this question: if God is good, then why there is bad people in this world? He can force them to do all good. He can force people not to engage in war. So this world is created, the living entities are there with enjoying spirit, want to lord over. Free will is there, they want to lord over, they want to enjoy, opportunity is given, chance is given. Krishna does not interfere. And then if we knowingly, unknowingly do not follow Krishna's instruction, do not serve Krishna, which is our constitutional position, serve our senses, serve Maya, serve so many false masters, then we get entangled, we suffer. Still, the living entity, the desire and hope is there. I want to be enjoyer, I want to be happy. So this way, that way, this way, this way. That's why you see these days so many permutation and combination of people are trying to enjoy this vacation, this destination, this adventure sport. New varieties of things are coming up. New types of clothing, new types of fashion, new type of eatables, new hairstyles, everything, so that we can get that elusive enjoyment. And then Krishna says, after many lifetimes of trying this way, that way, this way, that way, this way, that way, Jnanvan, a person who is sufficiently experienced, who has come to knowledge, will come to the conclusion that Vasudevam Sarvamiti. Ultimately, I have to surrender to Vasudeva. He is everything. He is the true enjoyer. He is the Bhokta. And such Atma, such Mahatma who has come to that understanding is very rare. Durlabha. We are very fortunate by Prabhupada's mercy. We at least know the purpose. Although we have the enjoying tendency, being a conditioned soul, we have, it's not easy to come to the realization that Vasudevam Sarvamiti, I am not the enjoyer. It's not easy. Theoretically you can understand. I always mention knowing doing gap. Still we have hope. And it takes time. That's what anartha nivritti is. Nishtha, ruchi, asakti, bhava, prema. So this world is so designed that because we are conditioned, we have enjoying, we will put chesta, we will make efforts to enjoy independent of Krishna, and then we'll get slapped by Maya. And Krishna is also extra kind many times to his devotees. If we are asking for a benediction for material enjoyment, that verse is, Ami nahi murkha. I am not a fool. He is a fool, he is desiring. But I am not a fool that I will sanction. That's why Prabhupada says Krishna devotees generally are not very opulent. Krishna does not easily sanction material benedictions. Because Krishna is He is the Supreme Lord. He is created for the purpose. Purpose is that we should come to our senses, we should surrender to Krishna, we should become detached from this world, not seek independent enjoyment, and go back to Krishna. So when being a devotee, we desire something which is not aligned to the purpose, and Krishna being all merciful, Krishna being all knowledgeable, Krishna being all kind, He will sanction some frustration in us. He'll sanction, Maya trapping us, Maya beating us. So that's part of the journey. Once there was a sannyasi, ISKCON, unfortunately, because in earlier times, devotees who joined, they were from the background where Westerners, hippies, and Prabhupada also, initial days, knowing that he has limited time, he gave sannyas also, 2 years, 3 years, sannyasis. And they are from that background. So one sannyasi, Prabhupada got the news that he has left the temple and has gone to Radha Kund and become Babaji. And he also got the news that he has started taking intoxicants. Because there are many Babajis in Vrindavan, you will see they are smoking bidis or... So Prabhupada got that. And it was very clear that many of his activities were illicit activities, relationship with women, things like that. Then he got into some immigration problems. Because all these Western devotees, they have come to India. There's always, you have certain immigration rules and regulations. This many months, after that you have to do the visa stamping, or the visa gets over, you have to get it renewed. So there were some immigration problems, and finally, cut the story short, he was arrested by the police. So this news came to Prabhupada. Prabhupada felt sorry. But then he also said, it is good that he got punished. He said, Kṛṣṇa is very kind. If we act sinfully, then we have to suffer the reactions. It is good that he got punished, so that in this life itself the reactions can be nullified. That's why Prabhupada also says, earlier time there was, for a murderer, he used to get hanged. It's good, you square off the reactions in this life. Otherwise, reactions go with the soul. If not in this life, next life you'll have to suffer the consequences. So Prabhupada said, good, he got punished. And then Prabhupada explains that if there is an accidental fall down, Kṛṣṇa is very kind and merciful. He tolerates, he excuses. But if a devotee repeatedly sins and commits sinful activities, then Kṛṣṇa will not tolerate, he will punish. And that is good for the devotee. Now, let us understand what is accidental fall down and what is repeated sin. Little bit I thought on this. What is, because if a devotee even commits some sinful activity, looks like a devotee is committing sinful. What is accidental sin? What is accidental fall down? And what is consciously a devotee is doing a mistake? It could be regulative principle, it could be Vaishnava, the way we behave with a particular Vaishnava, our dealings. what is accidental mistake and what is a deliberate mistake. What's the difference? So accidental mistake is when a devotee is trying not to do. He's trying his best. There is chesta. There is desire not to do, not to break, not to violate. But knowing doing gap because of our habitual programs, habitual behavioral patterns, habit loops. He's trying, he knows it is wrong. That's the same reason why Arjuna asked this question. Why is it that sometimes, much against our wish, we are forced to act in a way as if there is some kind of force? What is that force? Kama. And how does kama in the system? It is through our vasanas. The vasanas, the habit loops, behavioral patterns. What is a behavioral pattern? Little bit technical, based on how this yantra functions. Little bit we should understand how this yantra, why we behave the way we behave. Sometimes we get frustrated. The Lord is very kind. Anything which we repeatedly do, it could be day-to-day activities, they are stored in the program, in the subconscious mind as programs. So that the daily actions, when we repeatedly do, we don't have to use conscious mind for that. Anything we repeatedly do. And if Lord has not made this arrangement in the yantra, we all will grow crazy. Because for everything we'll have to, if I have to wear clothes also, 100 calculations I have to do. Here now you are quickly you wear the kurta. You don't have to think also, you are thinking of something else. Conscious mind is something else. Quickly you will put. First time somebody ties a dhoti, for half an hour he has to juggle. But repeatedly you do, in 3 minutes. Every time I go home, my mother asks me, how you put tilak so straight? Because she also tries, she is initiated, she also tries to put tilak. Then I tell her, how do you make roti so round? She gets the answer. Both are habits. She makes roti every day, it becomes round. I have tried making roti, amoeba. So every time different amoeba forms it comes. So I asked her, how do you make roti so round? She says, how do you put tilak so straight? And when she sees me putting tilak, she says, because I like the straight. For her, she will, she invariably has that tilak mark, but even if she puts, it's all messed up. Habits. Because you do repeatedly, it becomes a habitual program. You don't have to think. For putting tilak straight, you don't have to think. You just, you're half awake about the straight. So for everything which we repeatedly do, we have a habit. Habit loops. Even if we go a little more technically, the neurons gets connected. Neural pathways gets formed. I gave example of when you walk in the garden, the pathway is formed in the garden. And when the pathway is formed, the electrical impulses, it's easy to pass through that path. Easy to pass through that path. So we have unintentionally or at times intentionally, there are neural pathways formed in our brain. And moment there is a trigger, moment there is an impulse, automatically that path gets followed. That's why these addictions are there. That's why addictive behaviors are there. Addictive thought patterns are there. Sometimes, why you get angry at so small thing? That has become a pattern of behavior. He knows it is wrong but cannot help it. Why are you so egoistic? Why for small things you feel bad? Why are you so oversensitive? Soul is not oversensitive. The patterns of behavior are like that. It's all got embedded in the subconscious mind. So what is accidental fall down? Accidental fall down is when you know that I should not be doing it, you're putting effort, you're trying your best, but in spite of that, you are getting. And another symptom of accidental fall, you feel very guilty after doing it. Why did I do that? I shouldn't have done this. Again, mistake has happened. And if a person is a devotee, he will pray to the Lord. He will beg the Lord, I'm sorry. Mujhe maaf karo. If he has got angry at someone, he'll go and tell him, please forgive me. My mistake. Beyond a point, this habitual responses we cannot control. That's the meaning of conditioned soul. We are conditioned. Conditioned to behave in a particular way. That's why it is always good as Vaishnavas, because of these programs, we'll habitually act. There will be some force, there will be urges, there will be vegams. But later on, with cool head, when we realize, we should be humble enough, yes, it is my mistake. Yes, I made wrong. And then go and beg forgiveness. It could be the devotee, could be to the Lord, could be to Prabhupada. I'm sorry, please forgive me. When a devotee feels the guilt and also begs forgiveness, that mistake is an accidental mistake. But if a devotee does not care, there is no guilt feeling, and at times he also thinks, chalta hai na, kya fayda hai, chalta hai. Then if repeatedly it happens, then Krishna will not tolerate. It can be even, everyone's background is different. It could be regulative principles also. Trying your best, but mistake happens. Krishna and Prabhupada are very, very merciful, very, very tolerant. If they are not merciful, they are not tolerant, many of us will not be here today. But as devotees, we should not, because Krishna and Prabhupada are very tolerant, very merciful, we should not take undue advantage of their compassion. They are very tolerant, they are very merciful, but we should not take undue advantage. And here Prabhupada is explaining, I continuously offer my respectful obeisances unto your lotus feet, of which is worthy of taking shelter, because you shower all benediction on the insignificant. What is the meaning of benediction on the insignificant? If a person is humble, I am insignificant, I am fallen, I am not a devotee, I am a rascal. Then he is qualified to be recipient of Lord's mercy. Mosa mapatita napaibo ara. You will not find anyone more fallen than me. And the devotee does not have to artificially psych up this humility. He can see, I am repeatedly committing mistakes. There are so many knowing doing gaps, so many wrong behavioral patterns. It's visible to me. We should be humble enough to accept that yes, it is happening. Otherwise, many times we are watching the whole world. This is not okay, this is not okay, this is not okay, this is not okay, this is not. But everything is outside. What is inside is not visible. So these patterns are there, accidental fall downs will happen. We learn from the mistakes, we again beg forgiveness, we again stand up. And then if we are properly situated, these accidental mistakes will reduce. New programs will get formed. New habit loops will get formed. Madhu Prabhu says, disuse entropy. Anyone knows what is disuse entropy?
Like if somebody has a plaster on leg, his leg got broken, so 6 months he could not use his leg. So the muscle will shrink up and will not.
Yeah. Disuse entropy is any muscle, anything, any tissue, or for that matter anything also, if you don't use it, it will decay. If you garden, don't take care, don't deweed, don't properly take care, it will become jungle. If there is a pathway formed in a garden, you don't walk on that path for days together, grass will grow and that path will disappear. If you don't exercise, the muscle will become weak and the muscle will die. That's why even a person when he's in a coma on a bed, there's somebody taking care every few hours, turning, otherwise bed sore will be formed. They keep moving the body, turning the body. Some movement is required. If you don't do disuse, entropy will set in. So likewise, whatever habit loops which we repeatedly use, they become strengthened. Don't use that habit loop, it dissolves. That's why they say, don't contemplate, avoid, keep away. Anyadha yavat artha krit. Habit loops, man, woman come together, habit loops gets triggered. Habitual behaviors get triggered. Habitual responses get triggered. That's why rules are keep away. Keep away. And moment we become over smart, yes, no, nothing will happen to me. I know how to handle it. Then Maya will be. Then that's not accidental fall down. Ajamila's case, was it accidental fall down or premeditated fall down? Initially when he saw, it was accidental fall down. But later on when he fell in the company and he enjoyed the company of a prostitute, he gave up his parents, all that was not accidental. And in devotees, why we know this is accidental or premeditated? Because every day we are hearing Bhagavatam. We know what is wrong. And if we are properly situated, if we are sincere, there will be an urge and a desire, I should not do it, I should not do it, I should not do it. But still, we may end up doing it. That is habitual, accidental fall down. So we should also not we should not also have wrong expectation that no mistake will happen. Although we take vows, no meat eating, no intoxication, mistake can happen. So we feel sorry, we beg forgiveness, we learn from the mistake, we again get up with renewed commitment. Then here it says, we pray to the Lord for benediction. The Lord gives the benediction on the insignificant. Go back to the Lord, cry and say, I'm sorry. So Prabhupada also, when he went to America, you see, just like we say Krishna has created this world for a purpose, Prabhupada also went to America for a purpose. He was very clear about his purpose. He had got instruction from his spiritual master, preach this message in the Western countries. So Prabhupada was once asked, what were your thoughts when you first reached America? What were you thinking? What was there in your mind? So Prabhupada chuckled and smiled and he said, my thought was, moment I speak to them that no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, they'll kick me out. They'll kick me out. That was the mood which Prabhupada, even in the Jalduta diary, oh Lord, why are you taking me to this place? How am I going to preach? Because he knew everyone is immersed in meat eating, intoxication, gambling. And Prabhupada, that's the foundation. He says, the moment I start speaking, no meat eating, no intoxication. In fact, one of the Indian Swamiji says, Swamiji, if you speak all these things, nobody is going to accept. He actually said that you water down, you little bit customize your program. So a lot of Indian Swamiji also, they customize, what is easy for them to accept. So Prabhupada was, then another devotee told Prabhupada, but you were very intelligent. First 1 year, you never told about these 4 regulative principles. So Prabhupada said, yes, first year, just come and chant. When they developed higher taste, developed some sense of understanding, then follow the regulative principles. Prabhupada was very clear. Ultimately, it's detachment. Ultimately, it's following the principles. Ultimately, it's becoming devotee of Krishna. Ultimately, it is surrendering to Krishna. But Prabhupada very intelligently led them to that ultimate purpose. We as devotees also, we should know jnana and vairagya. Ahitukam. If we are progressive, then vairagya will come. And what is vairagya? Nirmama. I and mine. Aham mameti. Detachment means it is not mine. It could be anything, including body, including power, including position, including whatever the world has given. It is not mine. It is in my possession temporarily. It is given to me, it can be taken away. That is the meaning of detachment. This is not mine. This position is given for a purpose, anytime it will be taken, no problem. What is the meaning of opposite of detachment? Is attachment. Anybody little bit change, shakes. Foundation gets shaken. So we should also little bit introspect. These are all very subtle things. Some introspection will know, am I attached? How much am I attached? And day-to-day life, lot of instances will throw up which will show that you are attached or detached. Depends on how much we get hurt. Somebody said something, get hurt very badly. Yeah, that means we are attached. Our ego got hurt. My reputation got hurt. What is ideal sign of detachment? It is all this. Somebody says good thing, somebody says bad thing. It's part of the external world. It does not shake my intrinsic security. So some bit of introspection we have day to day when we encounter challenges in our services, in interaction with others. And we should also not have false expectation that when we are living in a community or a society, everyone will be well behaved, everyone will be good, everyone will be sober, everyone will be detached. We should not expect. Prabhupada gives a famous example that when you are traveling in a ship across Atlantic Ocean, you will have all passengers from all backgrounds. You should know the purpose why you are traveling. Not that somebody is this thing and you jump off the ship. No. The people are like that. You remain steadfast, tolerate, and achieve the purpose for which we are traveling. Prabhupada says, ISKCON, this International Society for Krishna Consciousness, what he created, he says it's like a garland of flowers. He gives example that how even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, how many fruits can I myself distribute? He's asking for our help. Prabhupada also says, you all are cooperating, he's referring to his disciples, but I am getting the credit. Without your cooperation, without your help, I cannot do much. Prabhupada is being humble. And then he says, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission is Sankirtana. Sankirtana means together. Everyone coming together. So he says, ISKCON also is a family where everyone is coming together from different backgrounds. Somebody is Christian, somebody is from Muslim background, somebody is from Hindu background, somebody is black, somebody is white. And everyone is coming together and cooperating and pushing forward this mission. He says, just like in a garland, there are flowers of different colors. Hardly you see a garland, just single color. See this? Garland makes attractive when you have multiple colors. In fact, we deliberately put multiple color flowers. So there will be somebody who is humble, there will be somebody who is this thing, there will be somebody who is short-tempered, there will be somebody who is egoistic. Short-tempered means red flower. Hamesha lal. White flower. Satvik. So there will be this, and then that's how the flowered garland is made. So Prabhupada says, ISKCON movement is like a bouquet of flowers. We all should come together. There will be some differences, there will be some clashes, there will be some misunderstanding. It's part of life. But we should not forget the overall purpose for which we have joined. We should not forget the purpose for which we are serving Krishna. Accidental mistakes will happen. From our side it will happen. We'll shout at someone, we'll scold somebody. Later on we should feel bad, yes. And be first to beg forgiveness. Be first to beg forgiveness. We should not wait, it was his mistake. Both are thinking it is his mistake. He should ask forgiveness. No. First let me ask forgiveness. And then if that is the mood, if that is the consciousness, then we will be progressive. The whole movement will be progressive. Stop here. Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.